Marriage should be fun, fulfilling, and full of joy, but too often, outside voices try to define what it should look like. Your Best Marriage Now is here to challenge the norms and help couples build a relationship that feels right for them. Hosted by Reshema and Jacques Mountain, this podcast is all about embracing the freedom to love, laugh, and grow together. We believe in living at your own address, meaning your marriage should reflect your values, your happiness, and your vision. Join us as we share real conversations, practical insights, and plenty of fun along the way. Let's dive in together.
Hello and welcome to Your Best Marriage Now. I am Jacques Mountain and this is my wife Reshema Mountain. Hey, and we want to welcome you to another episode where we get into the real details of marriage and relationships. And this episode, we want to focus some on business. For those of you who don't know, we have been in business for 19 years. We have an inspection company where we do real estate, residential and commercial inspections. And we've been married for 20 years, so it has been quite a journey. But today we talk about business and business-related things a lot, so we wanted to just kind of delve into that a little more today. So I will turn it over to you, ma'am, as you get the people into the business mindset.
Okay. Well, you know, we always talk about the 3 C's, the communication, compromise, and commitment. And you can apply those 3 C's in anything. And they definitely are essential for us working together. Listen, it's not I'm telling you, it's not it's not business and it's not marriage. It's the people. It's who we are.
Right.
Who we are, what we bring to the business, what we bring to the marriage. And since we have been doing both our whole marriage, we have learned some really, really good lessons. The thing that I like to talk about is knowing your role and what that looks like. Because, you know, we both grew up coming from backgrounds. Normally the man would be the breadwinner to go make it happen. The woman stay at home, cook the bacon, fry it up, all this other kind of stuff. And I don't cook bacon, I don't cook and all this. So it was hard for me to find my identity, you know, searching, okay, do I need to be doing this, doing that? And when it was put on my heart, and I'm going to say God put it on my heart to fully embrace working with you, because I did other things, because I wanted to be a supportive wife. There were things that I did in the business that were behind the scenes that I didn't see any value in, you know, payroll, you know, making sure the taxes were done, licenses, you know, making sure we stayed compliant. I didn't see any value in that stuff. You know, you were more and still are the relationship builder, the talking to the people. I mean, I'll talk to people, but for the setup and the function and the livelihood of our business, the revenue generator, that has been my husband. And that's one of the things that when we shared that we work together, the first initial response we get is, I could never work with my spouse. I could never work with my spouse. Very, very rare I hear 2 couples that are actually working together. And I guess my first thought is, well, why can't you? And as we continue to work together, I understood why they said what they said. Because the same stuff that we've been talking about in marriage, guess what? It spills over into the business.
Exactly.
Because we are the same people. And it's the individual person, the individual woman, the individual man that I like being able to really address with how you show up in both of them to determine how it's going to be and how it's going to last. And with my signature, and I do call it my signature talk because it is my life, how to work in business with your spouse and not go crazy. And the crazy actually is broken down, the CRAZY is broken down into how I was able to show up here with you, you not go crazy and I not go crazy. And one of the things that we like to do is live at our own address and live at our own business. And that is determine who's going to do what. And to see that both of us have 100% value in the business, no matter what the roles are, no matter how the money comes in, that we both have value. And like I said, I didn't always see my value because, I mean, who gets excited about payroll? Who gets excited about making sure that the certificates are done or the insurance is done? Who gets excited about making sure that the financial reports? But if there had not been for those things being in place, we wouldn't have the successful company that we have.
Correct.
If you hadn't been the person that says, okay, let me go out, let me do these seminars, let me do these talks. So both parties are important. And that's what I want to share with you all is the same mindset that we talked to you all about. You're important, she's important, he's important. Take that with working in business and communicate. Now I want to get to the communication part because the first C does start with everything that we do starts with communication. Mm-hmm. Communication for us is the foundation of everything that we do. And the R for me that I like to talk to my ladies, relax. And we're going to camp out there and I'll give y'all the rest, the A and the Z, Y in a little bit. But the relax part, I never will forget the day you walked into the office, you stood at the door and you looked at me and you said, why you just can't be the same person in business that you are in marriage? You're like, you're not like this. Like, what is all this that you're doing? And I didn't get it. But once I understood what he said, I realized I needed to relax. I needed to relax because I was so busy trying to prove myself that I was missing that I could do both and. Mm-hmm. I could be feminine. I could be playful. I could be fun. I could be flirty. Whereas before, everything about business to me was so serious. Duh, 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 duh. And you was like, but that's not who you are as a person.
Right.
Like, so why are you trying to bring that here? Like, why are you trying to bring that bad A, all the other stuff that, we've heard? Why are you trying to bring that energy here when that's not who we are as people? And when I talk about the valuing of each person and knowing your role, you got to value your role regardless of what the quote unquote title is. And you remember you told me, it's like, I don't even want to deal with the whole CEO title, the COO. Like, yeah, we know what our responsibilities are, but you were like, I don't even want to deal with that title right now because I want to talk to you. I want you to be who you are in the relationship versus you give somebody a title, then they take on this persona that's not who they really are. When you said, I married you because you were fun and you were easy to be around. And so I just wanted to encourage you as the woman in the relationship, regardless of what your role is, that you can relax in the relationship and you can give off I was about to say, you can give off the A. You can give the A when you show appreciation. Right. But that's not what the A means, appreciation. It means appreciating yourself. It means appreciating you. Y'all been here. I got to bring my prop. Appreciation in the relationship that you are right. A lot of times in the business, you are right about what vendors we need to work with. You are right about what pricing we need to go with. You are right about the market study that you have done because that's your role. And for me to be able to relax, which is the R, and allow you to lead in that area. But then I needed for you to also relax and let me lead on the business side. So it's been a back and forth, which is the Z in the crazy. It's the zigzagging. It means you got to go with the flow sometimes because we really are first generation entrepreneurs in our family. I mean, I know we had a granddaddy Bags. He had insurance. We really have built Dream Home Inspections from nothing. God, Jacques and Reshema. And it's you, your spouse, and God. You may have started from nothing. I don't know where you started, but you can work together and build something that never has been done before. And it will be a lot of, we still zigzagging. We still are like, okay, oh my God, how do we get here? And how do we move forward? And what do we do here? And the thoughts and the wisdom come to us sometimes as we go. And that was difficult for me as someone who came from a mindset of I needed a checklist. Because with the business, there do need to be checklists. But how do you continue to do business when it's not necessarily a checklist? So there has had to be a give and a receive, a ebb and flow for the both of us. And the why is different for everybody. And I know why I'm doing it. I know I'm getting to be the reason that I'm encouraging this, and the reason that I'm talking about it. Maybe it's ministry you want to do in your heart with your spouse. I don't know. But it has brought out two things for me. It has been the most rewarding experience of my life working with you. And it has been the most challenging experience of my life working with you. And that's not a bad thing. Mm-hmm. It's a challenging experience because it has required me to change. It has required, I'm bringing out my prop again, to say, I'm sorry. It has required me to say, I'm wrong and you are right. I want to hear what you have to say. I want to know, I want to get in your shoes because like you tell me, we have what we call boots on the ground and bureaucrats and boots on the ground. Mm-hmm. And, you know, you have the bureaucrats, like the people that sit, you know, in the offices behind the desk and, you know, they want to give all the rules and this, and this. And you're like, yeah, but you have to consider the people that are on the ground. You and the team are on the ground and you have to consider the why we are doing or why we need to change something that needs to be changed. And so for me, I wanted to encourage you all to know that it can feel crazy at times, but look at what God has done through us. Mm-hmm. Look at the multitude of people whose lives have been touched by the company, the lives of people who have been touched by the company, giving us an avenue to share with people about marriage. Look at the number of people whose lives have been touched by the businesses that have been born out of what we have done. So that's the rewarding and the challenging part to it. Mm-hmm. And I don't want anyone deceived. And I'm going to let you jump in here in a second. I don't want anyone to be deceived to think just because you marry the one and y'all have a business that's from God, you won't ever have any problems. And you run away from something that God could be really putting in your heart to do together because you think, oh, I could never work with my spouse. I could never work with them because you think it's too hard. And hard isn't always bad. I don't like the word, but it has been those hard things that has strengthened me, that has given me the courage, that has given me the fortitude, that has given me the compassion, that has given me the way to exercise mercy and forgiveness, to give it and receiving. So business and marriage really can go together. And like our counselors told us, how we're highly integrated, mm-hmm. that we're sometimes so close that, you know, we poke each other and it's never intentional. It's just your past, my past, and all the things that we have going on, you know, pricking each other, piercing each other. But when we come out of all of that, man, we make some beautiful stuff together. Your best marriage now is a result. It is fruit from all of that and all of the people's lives that have been touched. That is my why. And so you have to dig in and find out, like, okay, I think about working with my spouse. I would want to consider, but I just don't even know how it would work for me. So I want you to jump in and talk about it from your point of view, how it's been for you.
Right. And so what I'll say is, even, let's put it like this. Everybody has a part in the business. Even if you're not the head per se of the business, you will have a part to play because it's your spouse. Mm-hmm. So even if it's their business, you still have a perspective and some things that you see that they may not see that will help them. Mm-hmm. You know, you don't know nothing about cutting grass. You don't know nothing about a 0-turn lawnmower. True, but I do know customer service. I do mm-hmm. know. I hear you talk to these people on the phone. Sometimes you could do better. Yeah, I do know consistent pricing. Mm-hmm. I do know that. I do know brand appeal and how your truck looks dirty sometimes, and you should be washing the. They always are going to have a part. Yeah. So one of the things is, and that's where we talk about communication, realizing that just because you're not the person who quote unquote started the business doesn't mean you don't have impact in it. Right. Because you will have some impact in it. Yeah. You know, and then relaxing. Because who told y'all that just because you started, it's got to blow up and become some multi-million-dollar thing? Mm-hmm. I think we've seen that so much on social media that, oh, if I start a business, how soon can I get to 6 figures and then 7 figures? And who gave you that dream?
Yeah.
Who told you that it's supposed to turn into that? Well, we're going to go out and get contracts. And next thing you know, we're going to cut all the grass for all of the Zaxby's all over Georgia. It's like, okay, let's just cut our yard and the 10 yards we have.
Yep.
And let's see if God opens those doors, if that's the direction he even has for us. Mm-hmm. You know, and what was the A? The A was
appreciation.
And sometimes, and this was something I know I used to tell you, like, let's appreciate where we are.
Yes.
We have really made progress.
Yes.
Let's stop and say, man, we've made some good money. Mm-hmm. Let's enjoy this. Well, you know, I'm just trying to hurry up and get to the next level. Okay, we get that. But can we just appreciate that we not on that level we used to be on? And that we've made some progress.
Yeah.
And we can go to Zaxby's debt free. You know what I'm saying? Zaxby's ain't on a credit card. We can actually pay cash for Zaxby's. You know what I'm saying? The kids go back to school. We can actually buy school clothes from the beginning of the year all the way to Christmas.
And other people's school clothes back to school. Yeah, we can participate in helping other people with.
Yes. Like, let's appreciate what we have done.
Yeah.
Because sometimes I know you were real goal-minded.
And yes.
I need to score a touchdown on the first play, the first pass. It's like, but we got a first down. Like, we're moving down the field.
Freddie Freeman, though.
No. Like, hey, we got 7 yards. Let's appreciate the 7 that the man just ran.
Yes.
Okay. So appreciating progress, zigzag is because you don't know the path. You know, Jeremiah says a man at his best can't order his own steps. The man with a PhD from Harvard, who's smart, who went to MIT, got all degrees. He said a man at his best cannot order his own steps. It's the Lord that directs your steps.
Yes.
And you can think you getting ready to get into a thing and do a thing for this, and it turn and it be something you totally didn't expect, but it worked out.
Yeah.
Because you don't know the full plan.
Yes.
So we are always zigging and zagging. Even the inspections and the work we have now was not ever on our path.
Right.
But it was a zig that worked out and is prospering and is going. So you have to be flexible.
That, I don't know who it is in a relationship. It's one of y'all. If you're like me, it's more needed for that one person in the relationship that's real hardcore. That I set this, I'm going to do this, and you don't have any flexibility. That was me. I'm not going to sit up and say I have perfected flexibility, but I have gotten better. I have learned to relax more and to trust more. To trust. God trusts you, but also trust myself. Mm-hmm. That, you know, our thing is we got there anyway.
Right.
We got there anyway.
Yeah. And then lastly, why? The why is because I enjoy what I do. Mm-hmm. The why is because it's helping people, it's educating people, it's giving people their own business when we're training people. So it can be done, but it all goes back to communication. Mm-hmm. You know, what are we trying to do? Where are we trying to go? What's the purpose of what we're doing? Mm-hmm. You know, where did we get the end goal from?
Right.
You know, at one point, remember one of our coaches was like, man, you guys can take your inspection training and take it around the nation. And I was like, I don't want to go around the nation teaching people home inspections. Mm-hmm. That's not our end goal.
Right.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Versus going with what was in our heart, which is to train the people that's right here in our city, in our local area. Mm-hmm. So just reevaluating, what are we trying to do living at our own address?
Yes.
And if it reaches this many people, fine. If it reaches 37 people, great. That's 37 people that are better off than if we had not have done it.
Yes.
Because every person in every household is valuable.
Yes.
Yeah. So business, I mean, it can be done. And I think it can be done without a lot of struggle when we communicate. Mm-hmm. We can clearly say, here's our goal. for this year, for this month. Let's just go after that.
Right.
And then we'll see what opens up from there. Where does God take us from here versus trying to make the plan. And then if it don't come to pass like we expected, now we're devastated.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is going to be my final part about it. I'm going to keep saying it is the Lord with us.
Yes.
You know, we get asked questions about how do y'all do this? How do y'all do that? And I can give you steps. Like, I'm the step queen.
Yes.
I will step you from here to Kansas. But if you don't have no help, your steps are going to be in vain.
Be in vain.
And there were things that we didn't have steps for, that doors open for us. And the same God, he really is the same.
Yes.
He really don't like Jacques and Reshema more than he like y'all. And he don't like y'all more than, like, he really loves and likes us all the same. And if that is in your heart, we encourage you to ask him, what does he have for you all to do? Because we get asked that question and we're like, oh no, I could never. But maybe now reevaluate your I could never to maybe, possibly, okay, Lord, what would you have for us to do? So that's my last thing that I want to share on that. And know that, hey, we always praying for you, encouraging you, cheering you on, you know, because that's what we do. Your best marriage now.
And with that being said, we'd like to thank our sponsor, Dream Home Inspections. Meeting all your real estate needs for inspections, residential or commercial. And their information is on the screen. So reach out to Dream Home Inspections to get your inspections done. Thank you all, and we'll see you next week.